Okay, people, Dead Space Remake has been out a year at this point, and I wanted to play through it again. I wanted to see if I still felt the same way or if I was being extremely biased towards my fanboyism towards the original. Dead Space 2008 is one of my favourite games of all time, and I'd be lying if I didn't have some bias there. When you're hearing people say things like, you don't even need to play Dead Space 2008 anymore, just play the remake, there's no reason to revisit that original title. And it's just kind of like, no, that's absolute nonsense, and I still stand by that. But obviously, on this revisit of the remake, I've got some different opinions. Now, if you like content like this, you like these types of horror games, you found the right channel for you. So hit subscribe. Let's get on with the video. So when I originally reviewed this game, I took issue with the animation quality. I did, and that was my main issue, to be honest. It was the way Isaac moved and whatnot. It's still obviously a problem. I still see the issues in the way he holds the plasma cutter, and I still see the issues in the way he runs and walks and whatnot. However, it's like one issue out of the many things that it improved upon. Now, that doesn't mean everything was improved upon. There's some story beats, some story changes that I just don't agree with, and I think they were better in the original also. It just proves the point that you shouldn't just ignore that original game, because there might be something in the remake where you're like, I don't really like the way that played out. Let me play 2008. Oh, wait, this version does this storyline way better. The voice acting's different. I like the way this played out, therefore I like this version better. I don't honestly think one just erases the other. I don't think it's like a thing where it's like, play 2008, don't play the remake, or vice versa, play a remake, don't play 2008. But I'd be lying if I didn't bring up the fact that it makes improvements in a lot of areas. Let's get the one thing out the way straight away, and that's the graphics. The graphics are absolutely insane. None of the art style has been damaged here. If anything, it's been improved upon. Isaac's armor, his engineering suit, it's far superior in this game. It's not even close. By the time you get to the end of the game and you get his level 5 suit, he looks awesome. I never ever liked the level 5 suit in the original game. It's just way too bulky looking. It looks weird. It doesn't even look like you can move in it. With this, it just looks like he's just jammed more pieces onto his suit just to give him more body armor. And it looks cool as hell. It's just one of those things that I've noticed the more I've played, I'm just like, yeah, the suit's way better in this one. It's like, I don't even think it's close personally. I think level 3 engineering suit in the original was probably like peak, and it was just kind of, I didn't want to level it up past that because it was just like, it looks so trash. Like, why does it look like that? But it's one of those things where you have to level it up if you want the defense, you want the item management and whatnot, the inventory slots. You have to level it up. You can't avoid it. But yeah, obviously there's that. Now, I did speak on the animations, but I feel like my main issue with Isaac's animations is that he, if you move him too slowly, he looks really weird and floaty, like he's flailing on the ground. His feet aren't touching the ground, and he's just kind of floating in the spot, and he's not moving quick enough compared to what his legs is doing. And I honestly think that's something to do with mouse and keyboard. I do not think this game was designed for controller in mind, and I'll get into that more later on. But yeah, I think when you're doing things digitally through a keyboard, Isaac can only go walk fast or hold his sprint button and he runs fast. There is no in between of those actions. The analog stick's changing that and forcing animations that you wouldn't really see on PC. Again, I'm playing this on console so I can manipulate Isaac's movement and see those issues. I can. But with the change in animation quality comes an improvement in overall control, Isaac's responsiveness is insane. There's a complaint with the original 2008, hell, it's in all the trilogy, right? It's in Dead Space 1, 2, and 3. People say Isaac is far too overpowered, that it destroys all the horror, and you are the killer, and you just dominate, and everything. It's basically a military shooter with horror things. I have never understood that at all. It just doesn't jive with me at all. I've always thought making the player crippled doesn't make it scary. It just makes the player crippled, and it makes it irritating, and it just makes the devs lazy, because if that's honestly what you need to do to make your game scary, you've already failed. Dead Space never failed in atmosphere and scares, and Isaac always felt capable. However, in this one, he feels even more capable, but with the improvement in control, in the ability to move around, the enemies I feel like the enemies are way more aggressive in this one as well compared to the original. I do. Sure, they don't run for whatever reason, but I feel like they get so close so easily and just like hammer you. I take way more damage in this than I do the original. Now, that could be down to you've played the original too much, so you're too good at it. Not to toot my own horn, but you're too good at it, and the enemies never get close enough, and you're just not used to the way they move in this one. Maybe, but I just feel like they just get on top of you way more than they do in the original, and the original are running, so it doesn't make much sense to me. I don't even understand how that's happening, but it is happening. But a complaint that I had was the atmosphere never felt scary to me in this one. It just felt the same, because they're so the same. However, I feel like if this was my first time going through Dead Space and it still felt like this and it was scary like the original, if you know what I mean, like I got that initial fear, because I don't have any complaints about the atmosphere or the scares. I just think I'm so used to the original that it just didn't work as well as that initial time. But the fact that Isaac's so much more capable in this, he's faster, he's more responsive, and I still get the same level of creepiness from the atmosphere, speaks volumes on the quality of the horror in the game. It does, and they've got to be given props for that. Again, sound design is incredible. It's top tier, superior to most games on the market. It's just a top-notch game from start to finish. There's some issues that I have, and sure, Isaac's animations could definitely be better, but the improved control, the improved graphics, the improved responsiveness, the improved move set, the gore system on the necromorphs. I love the new original sounds. I do like the music. I think it adds to the atmosphere. I've heard some people say that it doesn't. Personally, I need some music in the background. It doesn't really just work with me when it's just quiet all the time. The way enemies respond, the weapons in the original, I never wanted to use anything outside of the plasma cut. I just didn't. In this, give me that flamethrower, man. I love the weapons. I love the alternate fire on the weapons. It's just, honestly, it's an incredible game. It's great from start to finish. And I think I was too harsh on it. I honestly think I was too harsh on it. I got so caught up in those animations where I was just kind of I just couldn't look past them. But I can now. The bias, the fanboyism is cleared. I see Dead Space Remake for what it is, and that is a top-tier, superb remake, and it stands neck and neck with the original. I love both games. I do, and this dev wants to go off and make Dead Space 2. I really don't understand how you're going to improve on the moveset in Dead Space 2, because essentially all you've done here is pull from 2 into 1 and made 1 better for it. But with 2, what are you going to do? Because there's nothing to pull from. That was peak gameplay for Dead Space, it was. But what you can do is what you've done here, and that is improve responsiveness. So, you know what? Dead Space future looking good. It is. Just keep it this quality all the way through. If you can get his animations a little bit more in line with that original game, like the original trilogy, I should say, that would be great. But that will be me nitpicking and me being extremely biased, extreme fanboyism. And I just gotta like tone that down a little bit. Dead Space Remake is honestly superb. Top tier game, and if you haven't played it, definitely play it. It's accessible everywhere, man. It's in Game Pass now, right? You can there's many ways to play this game, so go ahead and play it. Alright, people. That's all I got with Dead Space Remake. What do you feel about it? Have you even played it? Let me know down below. Do you still think the original is the best version of the game? Do you think this is the best version of the game? Please don't give me that nonsense with the whole like, oh, you don't need to play one of them. They're both great. And the remake is not a one-to-one remake, so don't hear that either. I hate when people say that, you know, that drives me insane. Why do you need to play it if you've already played it in 2008? Because it's not the fucking same. It's not the same. Like, at all. There's so much changed, man. But yeah, whatever. I get really passionate about this game, as you can tell. So I love 2008. I love the remake. Win-win in my book. Alright, people. That's all I got. I'll catch you later.